There's a common thread sort of running through a few of these stories, and it seems like that very initial exposure that really helps. It almost gives you confidence. I know that when we first started the magazine, we didn't start it with any intention of it going where it went. Things almost evolve themselves sometimes. But how did that initial exposure help almost you make the first steps? Could I come to you first, Ciara, on that one? What was your first initial exposure that gave you the confidence to almost go forward?
I think for us, we ended up coming straight out of studying, and all of a sudden we had a shop. Like, I think it was, we had an empty shop as well. So I think through saving a bit of money and then making a first collection, and just for us, it was also acted as a studio, so we made everything from there. So we met the people that were buying our stuff, and it was a lot of interaction and just selling stuff to people that, you know, weren't your family or friends, a complete stranger. Seeing somebody in Manchester like, oh, that's my necklace. So it's quite exciting. But I think we went into it just heads first. Like, I think initially maybe you'd want to start with like something online or, you know, studio space, but that year in the shop just kind of was our exposure, I guess.
And what about you, Matt? Did you, what was was there a moment when you thought, right, actually, I think I can take this forward and make a career out of it?
There's been a couple of different ones. The main one for me was probably with the Digital Artist magazine. They just contacted me, and bear in mind, I've never really sent like a proper email before saying this is me. They contacted me, was just like, can you send us some more work? And we'll see what we can do. Yeah. Sent them my portfolio, and literally within weeks I was working for them, I was working for bands, and since then, you know, going to a show in Manchester, seeing people wearing your band merch, it's like, I designed that and you're wearing that, and you don't even know me. It's a pretty cool experience. I think, like you said before, like jewellery and stuff, it's such a big thing to see somebody wearing your clothing or hearing your records kind of thing. I guess anything is just, any sort of exposure is great.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, definitely. Well, gigging is obviously the main one when you're playing and you're in a band, is just getting really good gigs that you know that if there's the right people in the audience, and it's all just, it's networking basically. It's like the biggest thing is that any events like this actually, because I'm just thinking you three, I quite like your business cards because they're good. No, because honestly I was like looking at your jewellery and I was like, oh my God.
You should model. Matt should do the background.
Quite fancy a cardboard guitar, a nice necklace. But no, I think it's networking and yeah, I forgot what the question was, but no, it doesn't matter, I've gone on one. But yeah, and gigging and making sure that you're just constantly putting everything out there for people to find, you know. And I think having the internet is the most amazing thing, because even in the time that I came out of college and now, it's only like 4 or 5 years really, the internet has even been more amazing than ever. I know I sound a bit like an old woman now, but it is unbelievable, because it just makes, when you're in the arts, obviously, it's incredible what you can do.
A friend of mine who he works for Ardman in Bristol, his mum always said to him, when he started doing web design, it's like, you do realise in 5 years' time there's going to be no internet. You've just proven wrong, you know. Everything's on the internet now.
Oh my God, oh, she was so wrong.
Yeah, every single day she reminds him.
So you all find the internet and social media, and did you all use social media quite a lot to you know, to make contacts, to get your products or your music out there?
Yeah.
Does everybody use that a lot?
I think you have to. I think even sometimes when Twitter came about, I remember being a proper anti-Twitterite. I was like, no, God, I'm not talking about my breakfast every day, you know, that kind of thing. But then when you saw how it actually started being used, I was like, oh God, actually, yeah, it's actually really good.
Is it a frame of mind thing? Because you've all obviously got your core talents and the things that you're really good about. But to take that and think, right, I'm going to make this a career, I'm going to make this a business. Is there a change in the way you think that takes that step? What do you think, Mark?
I think you can sort yourself out of it quite easily, but I think once you actually do it, it leads on to greater things and it improves over time, and things kind of I don't know, it's like a ball picking up pace, you know.
So like small, you're sounding like it was a lot of small things happened, and then it's to take you to the point where you're at now.
Yeah, I had a couple of small window display jobs lined up,
Yeah.
and they didn't actually come through in the end, but because I knew that was coming, I thought I can definitely pay the rent for that month, and then in that month I can do the job and do something else, put it all out there, find more work, basically.
Yeah. And what about business skills? Do you feel like that you need to develop business skills, or alongside
Well,
your
you kind
your creative skills?
Sometimes you're forced to, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've got
Yeah,
to.
you blag it. I
Well,
blag it.
I mean, we found when we were doing Flux, there's really simple things like, like getting people to pay you, for
God,
example.
that's a
Biggest
real
one.
killer.
Which can be really
Yeah.
difficult. It sounds such a simple thing, but you do
Yeah,
a job for somebody,
invoices
and then there's a month's gone past and they haven't
know.
paid you.
It's because it's creative. They think, oh, they love it, it's fine.
A lot of people think
Or,
freelance
they'll
means
forget
free.
because,
Yeah.
Freelance does not mean free.
So do you find it's important to develop business skills, to kind of get over that kind of thing, and also I guess to look at where you're going in the future
It's
as
taken
well?
me, it's taken me like a good 2-3 years to kind of get to know how to run my business. Like originally I just like do the work for them and hope they'd pay me, but now it's kind of like, no, this is how we're going to work now, and you kind of have to develop them skills early on to get anywhere. If you don't, you kind of need to.
Yeah. I thought it was really interesting what you were saying, Ciara, about this sort of image of your business and how you're looking at how you place your products quite carefully. Like at first you would just place them anywhere.
Yeah,
but
anywhere
now-
was so excited. Anyone had any interest, but yeah, I think now, I think that's come with time and confidence, like, look at what's been offered and pick the right thing for you, and, you can't compete, you're not, I'm not a machine just like, hammering out and I can supply everybody, you can just only supply a certain amount, and it's just best for you to have it in a place that's, right, I guess, is going to be better
It's an image thing, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's an image thing, and it's how
You want to be
your
placed
brand
next to
portrayed,
people who
isn't
you
it?
admire, or who you think, like Liberty of London's like huge, but do keep in mind just
The bigger picture.
The bigger picture,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Don't just
That is
try
what
and
Paul
just
used
do
to
it
do,
as well
definitely.
with the image
Yeah,
and with
yeah.
the photography that you have done, and the way you put your image across to the media and things like that.
I just don't think you should ever be scared to not do what you want to do and what
To
you
say no.
Yeah, and don't, and it's quite easy to, when you go into this industry, for people to kind of confront you and maybe argue, especially when you signed. It's an absolute nightmare, because I know I'm really being I'm not really selling it. I'm just like, take a step back. It is actually amazing, and the bigger picture is the most incredible thing. I think it's probably the most exciting industry that you could ever go into. But at the same time, yeah, like we were saying, you kind of you have to you just have to be strict with yourself, really, and stay true to who you are.
Okay, I think shall we wind that up there? Unless there's any questions that anybody suddenly got the urge to ask. We have one.
Hello. My name's Paul Bout. I'm a youth worker for Amplify Youth Music Project. So I work with a lot of young people between like 13 to 19. So I'm just wondering, what would you say to like a 13 to 19-year-old who wants to get into the creative industries to keep them inspired, really?
Would you like to ask anybody in particular? Or?
Well, I've worked with Matt before, so Matt knows about the project. So I'll let him kick that off.
Yeah, I'm currently working on another project which is coming up soon, but for the age range, you just need to, I think I mentioned before, keep going, and I've evolved, and start small, keep pushing yourself, keep building up. The more projects you've got going, the better. Keep yourself busy. It's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Constantly keep yourself busy, because I always find if I've got nothing to do, there's always something to do, in fact, but if you kind of think, well, what am I going to do next? You kind of end up getting bogged down. You're kind of like,
lists everywhere.
Yeah,
do this.
I've got about
but
6 different to-do lists on my phone.
I set a reminder to check my reminders.
Yeah.
Sticky notes
Yeah, no,
everywhere.
Seriously.
Organisation, but yeah, keep pushing yourself.
Yeah,
definitely.
Setting personal goals and projects, and keep it fun. Like meet other people who might be interested, collaborating, and just keep.
Yeah, that is exactly how you summed it up. Yeah.
Okay. I think that we'll leave it there.